Y'all gives you a second. We having some technical difficulties. I'm about to. I feel like I'm about to break something. Y'all gives you a second. All right, y'all. Look, hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me get a one in the chat if you guys can hear me clearly. Right. Let me get a one in the chat if y'all can hear me clearly. Hopefully. Fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. Mr. Z was about right. Yeah, technical difficulties, y'all. Look, I thought I was cooking with grease today. I was like, you know what? We gonna start relatively on time. Everything gonna run smooth, and yeah, about that. And this is not even a reckless streams, right? So let's do this again. Fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Mr. Z over here with the not even shoestring budget. This is Velcro budget. This is right. So, um, the young lady Sarah. So we finally got her first name. Mr. Z can't pronounce her last name, and Mr. Z was running around, so I didn't even go somewhere where I could hear it pronounced correctly. Somebody gonna say it in the comments, phonetically for Z. Thank you very much in advance. Um, the young lady Sarah from the podcast It's Giving. We've seen her on different interviews. She's making her rounds. She spoke to Paul Pierce. She spoke to Shaq, right? She's spoken to Nick Cannon. We've seen her, you know. So if I'm not mistaken, did she speak to Cam Newton also? Maybe. Um, so she's making her rounds. Um, you know, she's in the black Twitter streets, we'll say, right? She black Twitter, you know, we know who she is. Um, she said some things we agree with. She has said some things we disagree with. What I am imploring people to do, black men to do, we're going to be using Miss Sarah as an avatar for this, is asking women, stop asking rich or famous or wealthy women, would they date? Talk about it's giving. It's giving. It's giving low self-esteem. It's giving um inferiority complex. It's giving wanting to be accepted. Leave those women out there to deal with what they're going to deal with in the dating market. Huh? Yikes. Huh? Let's leave those ladies be. If they get married to the uber rich man, great. If they spend their entire adulthood, quote unquote, dating around, huh? If they spend their entire adulthood, quote unquote, dating around, we already know what that means for the most part, and they never get married, excuse me, or they have a little blink and you'll miss it 3 year, 4 year marriage, and nothing after that, so be it. Right? So we're gonna play this clip. It's not that long, and we'll speak about it. Right? Shout out to the brother Tony Baker. Tony Baker was on Sarah's podcast, And once again, he gave the same type of hypothetical. It's almost, there's no way Tony Baker didn't see the video that we covered. I'll play it also. The video that we covered, what was that, a few weeks ago now, a month ago now? I'm not saying he listened to Z. I'm saying there's no way he didn't see Sarah speaking to Ace Metaphor, because the hypothetical was almost identical. And y'all will see what Mr. Z is speaking about in a minute. And here we go. Once again, fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. All right, y'all.
Currently, I'm being eaten alive on the internet because I was asked, would I date a man that makes $70,000? What do you think my answer was?
I know your answer was no, because we had the conversation. I was like, really?
Now tell me why that's bad.
I don't think it's bad.
Why is it judged so harshly?
Because a lot of people fall into that price range.
What does that have to do with me?
Because immediately people go into, oh, you're talking about me.
Right.
And so that's the knee jerk.
Yeah.
So that's why they're like, oh, this is that and the third.
Right.
And you have the people that have been gold dug on.
Okay.
And oh, she just after the money, man. And so you got that coming at you.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody has their preference.
Everybody has their preference.
For me, I'm team preference. I'm like, you like what you like. Because a lot of times we don't have any control over what we like.
Yeah.
What about this?
Okay, tell me.
Let's say you meet a man.
Ooh.
Everything is on point.
Ooh, spicy.
With that salary. He's 70,000, but
Yeah.
everything about him is right up your alley.
So this is my question. Is he committed to the 70,000 or is that just right now?
No, it's just right now. He's open
that's
to,
different.
he's open to, you know, he's trying to do different
He's an
things
entrepreneur.
within his business, whatever that may be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The 70,000 is not the end all be all for
Okay,
him.
well that's completely different.
Yeah.
And is it potential in action? Like, is he in action or is he just talking?
He's moving and shaking. He's
Oh,
moving
that's
and shaking.
completely different
Ambition.
story.
But he's 70 grand in, and he might be 70 grand in for the first 3-4 years y'all dating.
Okay.
But he's still moving and shaking.
There's no way a man's gonna come around me and stay at 70 grand for 3-4 years. That's not even realistic.
But would you help him?
I would help him. That's what I'm saying. There's no way with a me on your side.
Chance.
Yeah. That was a different question though.
Yeah, there's a chance.
If you're committed to 70,000, I don't fit in that vision for life. But if you're growing your business and you just don't know, or you need the right relationships, or you need to be in different rooms, I know my role.
What if
Mm-hmm.
he's a phenomenal school teacher that's passionate about what he does?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's not necessarily a career where you could just be like, yo, I'm shooting for that 90,000. He just.
Oh, so yawn. And Mr. Z is gonna go and try to find the whole thing. I'm pretty sure it's on her YouTube channel. If not, then we'll just have to bear with this clip, because I would love to see where they go with that as they expound. The women don't care about your passion, bro. Where's the money? Rest in peace, Gangsta Boo. Where the dollars at? Yeah, that's what they care about, right? I think that's a fellow Tennessee native, Wittrell, right? That's what they care about, bro. They don't care about your passion. The rich women don't care about your passion. Miss me with the BS. The poor women, the middle class women, they do not care about your excuse me. They do not care about your passion. What they care about is whether you earn good enough money. And if you're passionate about it, oh, that's great. Pause for the cause. Mr. Z is looking at a first generation SS Camaro, red with the white stripes. Lower just a little bit, perfect condition. Absolutely mint. Absolutely mint. Huh? Welcome to South Florida, everyone. Yep, nope, I'm right. Yep, SS Camaro. Yep, it's a SS. Yep. Anyway, moving along. So they don't care about your passion unless your passion could buy you one of those, right? Unless if your passion could buy you a first generation SS Camaro with no problems, red with the white stripes, then she cares about your passion. Shout out to Tony Baker. Shout out to the brothers from tonight's conversations that asked the same question just a month ago, a month and some odd ago. At least that's when we saw it. And Sarah gave pretty much the same answer. She was a little annoyed by the question, a lot of annoyed. And so was the other female guest. Could we stop asking these women? Because what they hear, and ladies, correct me if I'm wrong, what the women hear, at least from the outside looking in as a man, what it look like, what y'all hearing is, yeah, I know you're 6'2", but would you date a 4'7" man? Would you marry him? Would you be proud of him? Would you brag about him? Like, I know you're 6'2", but would you date a man that's 4'7" and marry him and have kids with him and be proud of him? No. Could we stop asking these women this question? Leave them for whatever they got to deal with. And if they don't got to deal with anything and they're going to have the best dating life and they're going to get married and find a man and be married to him for a lifetime, that's great. And if not, so be it. Huh? Lisa Ray already told y'all what it was, man. Dear black men, whatever hypothetical you're going to ask, appreciate the answer is still no. Now, to entertain the men, the women will be like, oh, well, maybe. I mean, like, if he's not, just like Sarah did here, well, I mean, if he's not committed to the 70, is he committed to the 70? Does he want to grow? And somebody mentioned Kevin earlier. Exactly. And I love that Kevin used to do that. No, he earns 40 grand. He earned 40. That's what he gonna earn. Now, in Mr. Z's mind, when Kevin is saying, yeah, okay, it'll adjust with inflation, okay? The women ain't going. And that's your average woman talking crazy like that, let alone someone like Sarah, right? Leave her be. And for those of you that weren't here or didn't see that stream that I'm referencing where Sarah spoke of this and we covered it well, maybe 3-4 weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer than that. Here you go.
The conversations that we have, and women are literally saying, I make $300,000 a year. If he makes $100K, he's not viable.
But wait, Doc, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying the leadership. It's about leadership. So for me,
but money doesn't equate to leadership at all.
This is what I'm saying. I'm saying if you are going to lead me in the ways, that means you need to have the mindset. That means you need to have the mentality, the emotions, the spirit, the energy. If you're going to lead this household, I don't want to have to slow down to let you pass me up.
The average woman doesn't make that much money.
That's true.
Right? The actual listener is making 50, 70, maybe 80. Right. So what happens to the man that only makes 50, 70, 80? Is he now completely disqualified? Because we've completely changed the conversation. We said average. Now we're talking about men that make $300,000 a year. We can't even keep the conversation to the same topic of the average man. He's still being bypassed in the conversation. So if he's being bypassed in the conversation where we can't even stay on topic and talk about the man, imagine the women that's listening to the conversation, their mind is still going to the $300,000 man.
Can I just say one more thing? Even if you are that 50, 60, 70,000 earning man, there is still a desire for you at some point to make enough to where your wife doesn't have to work.
Yes. Are people not able to make a living and provide a beautiful life with $50,000? That's crazy. That is exactly what he said. That's what he said. That's exactly what he said. And to allude to a person, if a person makes under a certain amount of money, to say that they don't have the ability to lead, provide, and have all of these things. That's exactly what y'all are saying. Y'all are going around about a way to say it, but that's how people are perceiving the things that y'all say.
There's a component of this that we are missing, and that is that men that are not happy with where they are financially are mean. They treat you terribly, okay? If you meet somebody and they're a 300K woman, that may not be quite the lane for you. It doesn't mean that I value you less. It doesn't mean, but you're going to perform better. You're going to be a better person. You're going to have a better mindset. You're going to be in a clearer space when you feel valued, safe, at peace with where you are. And it's no harm, no foul in that. Stay there in that lane with the women that are in alignment with you, and don't be mad at us calling us broke, gold diggers, niggas dirty bald head scallywags on the internet because we are
We
in
reserve
this
the right.
lane. It would be wonderful to meet a man and he's like, babe, let's do this together. Let's build. I got this, you got that. You got my back, I got your back. But the reality of it is because I went to school, I was valedictorian, I graduated, I got a master's degree, I did all this. Now you mad at me because you not in my lane. Get in your lane, make some more money, and then come over here. Now we all good. It's simple.
You know, when I hear this young lady speak like this, the other black women, some black men that speak like this, some white men, white women, definitely white men that speak like this, as an average earning man, a little bit above average, right? Above the median, but still I'm in that range-ish. There's a part of me that say, get the goddamn guillotines. Z, what you think you provided to the world? Are you an inventor? Wait, you earn a little bit more than the rest of us. You think you're doing something special? Man, get the guillotines out. Huh? Stay in your lane and listen to how she said it. Oh. Huh? Okay, hey, let's remind them how the French do it. Huh? You gotta love it. What exactly do you think you do here? What invention did you create? Okay, cool. You're in a 250,000, 300, 350, 500,000 from money moving around. Okay. For provide, and no offense to anyone that need this, but it means the Z gotta say it with the smug ass tone. For providing mental health services. Huh? I do life coaching. Her tone was everything. I want you to appreciate this. Sarah believes the same thing. She just didn't say it. Don't you bring your poor ass in my lane. I'm in the highfalutin lane. Huh? Don't you bring your bum ass in my lane. Don't you bring your average earning ass in my lane. I'm in the well-off lane. Dear men, dear black men, we have to stop asking these women this question. It makes us look desperate. Huh? And loser. Black men, what we are not, are desperate and losers. Do y'all appreciate Nick Cannon got money and he got how many kids from how many different women? Huh? Boosie, Cam Newton, name all these black celebrities, name even the white men. Huh? Meanwhile, women get some money, black women get some money, and I can't find a man on my level. Uh-oh. Now, will you look at that? Sarah is similar age to Z. If y'all want to know why Z is speaking the way he is. Huh? For all of us that are around the age of 40 and younger, she's similar age to us. She's what, 37, 38, 37 years old? We were in high school with her. Huh? We know who she is. Huh? The issue here is simple. The women put a price tag on your manhood and your masculinity. However they want to make it sound, whatever nuanced language they use. It's not about the money. It's just that the money signals something like hard work, and it signals that you have the discipline, and it signals yawn. Huh? Yikes. That is okay, dear black men. We know how this ends up for many of them. Y'all seen Claudia Jordan, y'all seen Vivica A. Fox, y'all seen Lisa Ray. Huh? Y'all seen Maya. Y'all seen Brandy. Y'all seen Monica. We know how this ends. Y'all seen Eartha Kitt. Y'all seen Diane Carroll. Y'all seen Tracy Ellis Ross. We know how this ends. The lady from In Vogue. We know how this ends. Huh? Maybe that won't be Sarah's story, right? In detail. And I'm not wishing that on her, really not. But with that, shout out to Tony Baker. Could we stop saying, well, what about if he earned 70, but he's like the greatest man in the world, but the only thing that's missing is the money? Could we stop asking Ebony K. Williams this question? Stop asking Sarah this question. Huh? Stop asking Lisa Ray this question. Stop asking these women this question. Just leave them to deal with what they got to deal with. Huh? Black men, we are moving into the fourth industrial wave. We are in the fourth industrial wave. The very beginning. Leave these short-sighted, myopic women out there to deal with what they got to deal with. The winter is here. It's not coming, it's here. And as the shorty haircut young lady said, we couldn't even stay on topic. We went from $70,000 a year men. Now we talking about $300,000 a year men. We couldn't even, and it's because America has contempt for average men, despises average men, and average men make the world go round. For the most part, the poor men don't got it. The elite men are trying to hold on to their wealth, and they're selfish as hell. Many of them, most of them. Huh? Much of the newfangled wealth in America, I'm talking about the rich guys, rich white dudes, especially the ones in finance, are literally moving money around, coming up with complex, complicated financial instruments, and they skim off some money off of that. And look, I'm worth $150 million. Huh? And that's who the women are flocked to. Could we stop asking the women that will flock to the guy that came up with some complex algorithm to skim some money off the top? Now he worth $200 million. You just helped to put a whole housing development up. You're a construction worker making 80. The women looking down on you. The guy that just happened to know somebody, right? He was in orbit of the billionaire, and so now he's worth $80 million. We're going to listen to the women who would rather be around the $80 million man a year, man. Not even $80 million a year, $80 million man. Huh? Exactly. Mr. Donnie Mac, Finance Bros. Y'all heard the song? Where she said 6'5", blue eyes, want a man in finance? Look. Stop asking these women to lower themselves. In their mind, that's what they think they're doing. They're lowering themselves. What was the point? See, in their mind, what was the point of me getting to this point if you're now telling me I can't have top shelf alcohol? You still want me to have the house alcohol or the cheap stuff? I mean, if that is the house alcohol, like, is it known? Is it exclusive? Is it like, oh, it's not? Oh no. Give me top shelf. What's the point of me getting all this money and getting to this point in this status and not being a borderline streetwalker? And that's for those of them that aren't doing all of that. If now you're demanding that I be with ill bottom shelf? Huh. So leave those ladies out there. This is a PSA. Stop asking rich women, famous women, particularly the black ones, would you date? Would you marry? Nobody's really even asking the marriage part. Could you see yourself in a relationship with? At best, they're going to placate average men. But more than likely, there isn't. No, ill, ill. Ill, average on my hands, ill. Huh? Especially, once again, Sarah's around Z's age. Grew up watching the same type of television shows, listening to the same type of music, more than likely, consuming similar entertainment. They not going. Stop asking them. It looks desperate. Now, what I know many of you are going to do is if we see them in 10, 15 years and they still single, or they got to do the test tube baby like Ebony K. Williams, many of you go get your 5 chuckles in. And just like Ebony K. Williams and that test tube baby, that was the ultimate middle figure in her mind to the men. You elite men don't want me, and I ain't doing nothing with you average men. I'd rather go out here and get the test tube baby. Just to protect my ego and my pride. I said I ain't budging. I'm not budging. So we get our 5 chuckles in. She get to hold on to that shred of pride she got. The rest of women that were living vicariously through her don't say nothing because they're like, ooh, that looked like that hurt. Ooh, I ain't gonna say nothing because in their mind it's a gender war, so it's points and they scoring points. They're like, ooh, god damn, City Boys up 1 point. Ooh, but we ain't gonna say nothing. We're gonna be quiet about it. We're gonna be quiet about it. Huh? City Boys up 1 point. Huh? Damn, Ebony was doing Ebony? Ebony got the complexion for the protection. She ain't white, but she got the complexion for the protection. She's attractive, she's slim, she's well spoken. She ain't super famous, but you know, she Black Twitter famous. And she had to do the test tube, baby. Huh? So let the women get their 5 chuckles in. Oh, excuse me. Let the men get their 5 chuckles in. The women hold on to their pride. Huh? Let the educated women like Kim Foster intellectualize the BS. And we all go on with our lives. But could we stop asking the women to lower themselves? That's how they see it. They're lowering themselves. By even pretending to entertain the conversation, they're lowering themselves. Huh? They feel as if the average man are not on their level. That's okay. And you see, everyone keeps on adding modifiers to it. Well, what about if, you know, you have him on the money, but he got you on everything else? And as Sarah said, it's leadership. Translation, I can't respect you if you don't earn more than me. I can't do it. I can't even pretend to do it. I love that they saying it. Where are all the technocrats? Y'all said equality. Oops. Huh? Where are all the people? The men are insecure. The men are intimidated. The men are intimidated when women make more. The men are intimidated when the women are more educated. The men are intimidated. All these men are intimidated. What happened to that? What happened to all the talk of intimidated men? The women said, "Yeah, about that. F all that. I don't want to. I don't want to do it." I love that they're just coming up straight up the middle now and say, "Yeah, no, look, nah." I mean, if he's exceedingly good looking, maybe some bedroom fun for a little while. Maybe if he's young enough, maybe I'll buy him a PlayStation 5. Maybe he gets a PS5. But like marriage, long-term relationship? Oh no. Huh? Stop asking these women this question. Wait for them to do their temper tantrum, Trans Ellis Ross thing when she was speaking to former First Lady Michelle Obama. You know, the men of a certain age, they're steeped in a toxic masculinity. Translation, I can get the men of a certain age to bow to me and adhere to this weirdo view that I have of manhood and masculinity. Huh? Like, I know, like, I'm in my 50s, but like, inside, I'm still like a 12-year-old spoiled brat. And I want what I want. And the men won't do it. The men of a certain money and caliber won't do it. So toxic masculinity. Expect the women to do that. The well-off women, and y'all gives you a second Z's background. Okay, it's gone. Yeah. Expect the women to do that. Expect the women to do the Lisa Ray. Y'all vacation for the week. I vacation for the month. I don't want to break your little wallets. Y'all gives you a second. Jesus Christ. All right, we're back. My apologies, everyone. Huh? Let's stop asking those ladies that. You see what Ebony K. Williams said? Would you date the bus driver? If he owns the bus, huh? Mediocre men talk. Your parents allowed you to come home with C's and D's talk. That's how these women see it. The money in their mind is a signal to your hard work. Your status. Okay. Your value. Ooh, Z, don't go that next step. Your manhood. Z, you about to go that next step? Your humanity. Ooh, crap. Almost, that word almost slipped, by the way. Huh? Most women don't have the ovaries to say it, but yeah. Your income, your wealth is a signal to your humanity. Y'all wonder why when Z and PK get together, we start talking about eugenics and how women may not actually be against it. You just got to ask the right questions and see how quickly you end up in Auschwitz or Dachau or something. Huh? And Mr. Donnie Max says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Mr. Donnie Max says, there's a black woman remix to the 6'5" song. I'm looking for a 6'5" man with corporate job, a black king, no offspring. Mr. Donnie Mac, if you can find it, send it to Z. I'll look it up also, but if you can find it, send it to Z. All right. Thank you very much for that. I didn't know there was a black version. Right. So if we know something like 14% of the US population is 6 feet and taller, what's 6'5"? What percentage of the US population of men are 6'5" and taller? The women are actively holding out for a lottery ticket, a lottery win, and then throwing a temper tantrum that America doesn't produce enough winning lottery tickets, better yet. Huh? 6'5". Forget six figures. Let's stop doing the $100,000 talk. Stop it. $200,000+, really $250,000, really $500,000, really million. Anyway, $200,000+ a year. Huh? Luxury car, exclusive zip code. Sorry, Z, said it the wrong way. Exclusive home, an exclusive gated community, in exclusive zip code. There you go, Z. Huh? So yeah, the women are throwing a temper tantrum. And you better believe, as well spoken as Sarah is, she's pretty measured when she speaks. She's pretty measured. She lost a little bit when they asked her about that $70,000 man. You saw the look on her face. That boy, that anger was real. Huh? Same thing with Ebony K. Williams. Every time you ask these women, hey, would you date a man that earns, anything less than 100? In these women's case, it's anything less than 200. You see how animated they get? No matter how well they try to hold it. You just asked her to date a man that's 4'7". And no offense to any brothers that's 4'7". Huh? Yikes. In their minds, that's insulting. What was the point of earning this money if now y'all gonna knock me back down with those guys? Huh? Wow. So we're gonna play it again and we'll respond in a minute. Here you go. Let's go.
Currently, I'm being eaten alive on the internet because I was asked,
What you say?
would I date a man that makes $70,000? What do you think my answer
I know
was?
your answer was no, because we had the conversation. I was like, really?
Now tell me why that's bad.
I don't think it's bad.
Why is it judged so harshly?
Because a lot of people fall into that price range.
What does that have to do with me?
Because immediately people go into, oh, you talking about me.
Right.
And so that's the knee jerk.
Yeah.
So that's why they like, oh, this is that and the third.
Right.
And you have the people that have been gold dug on.
Okay.
And oh, she just after the money, man. And so you got that coming at you.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody has their preference.
Everybody has their preference.
For me, I'm team preference. I'm like, you like what you like. Because a lot of times we don't have any control over what we like.
Yeah.
What about this?
Okay, tell me.
Let's say you meet a man.
Ooh.
Everything is on point.
Oh, spicy.
With that salary. He's 70,000, but
Yeah.
everything about him is right up your alley.
So this is my question. Is he committed to the 70,000 or is that just right now?
No, it's just right now. He's open
that's
to
different.
he's open to, he's trying to do different
He's an
things
entrepreneur.
within his business, whatever that may be.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? The 70,000 is not the end all be all for
Okay,
him.
well that's completely different.
Yeah.
And is it potential in action? Like, is he in action or is he just talking?
He moving and shaking. He's
Oh,
moving
that's
and shaking.
completely different
Ambition.
story.
But he's 70 grand in, and he might be 70 grand in for the first 3-4 years y'all dating.
Okay.
But he's still moving and shaking.
There's no way a man's gonna come around me and stay at 70 grand for 3-4 years. That's not even realistic.
But would you help him?
I would help him. That's what I'm saying. There's no way with a me on
there's
your
a
side.
chance.
Yeah, that was a different question though.
Yeah, there's a chance.
If you're committed to 70,000, I don't fit in that vision
Yeah.
for life. But if you're growing your business
Yeah.
and you just don't know, or you need the right relationships, or you need to be in different rooms, I know my role.
What if
Mhm.
he's a phenomenal school teacher that's passionate about what he does?
Mhm. Yeah.
That's not necessarily a career where you could just be like, yo, I'm shooting for that 90,000. He just
Shout out to Tony Baker. Seen him live stand up a couple months ago. At this point, funny. If you get a chance to see him, go see him. He's funny. He's not a hack. Right? With that, Mr. Baker. Nah, bro. Shout out to Tony Baker. The women ain't going, bro. Especially someone like Sarah, she's not going. Right? You're asking women who interview people like Shaq and Nick Cannon, Cam Newton, right? You're asking them, in their mind, to end up with the man that she plucked out of obscurity? They can't do it. It's insulting. That's how they see it. Let me see if this is the right one. Y'all gives you a second.
If a man came along, let's say y'all both make $500K a year. He's making $70K. He got a business plan. He got a vision. He's working towards that day in and day out. And you would have to look up at him on all the intangible. Does he get a chance?
No. I would rather be single. This is the thing.
Wow.
Let me tell you why.
Look at her face. Look at her face.
To a certain point because I've built to a certain point.
Look at her face.
I am disciplined in everything. I'm disciplined in relationship with God, in my emotions, in my mentality, in my energy, in my body, and how I eat. I am very disciplined. And so I would expect that a man is the same thing. Because when you're disciplined, whatever you do.
Wait a minute. She started to get it back together towards the end of that statement. But when she first started answering that, y'all saw the look on her face. I'm going to play it again. I'm going to play it again and mute myself because I will be laughing. Huh? Just remember the smug-ass look on Ebony K. Williams' face when Iyanla Vanzant asked her similar about the bus driver. Remember the smug-ass look on Ebony K. Williams' face. Remember the look on Lisa Ray's face about, I don't want to break your little wallets. Remember the look on those women's faces as you listen to Sarah speak, and look at her face for the first about 5-ish seconds. Maybe 10-ish seconds. There you go.
If a man came along, let's say y'all both make $500K a year. He's making $70K. He got a business plan. He got a vision. He's working towards that day in and day out. And you would have to look up at him on all the intangible. Does he get a chance?
No. I would rather be single. This is the thing.
Wow.
Let me tell you why. I have gotten to a certain point because I've built to a certain point. I am disciplined in everything. I'm disciplined in relationship with God, in my emotions, in my mentality, in my energy, in my body, and how I eat. I am very disciplined. And so I would expect that a man is the same thing. Because when you're disciplined, whatever you do the most is what compounds in your life. Why would I not give a shot to a person that makes $70,000?
Oh, shout out to Dr. Thunder. Dr. Thunder's in the house. At least he was in the house. Oh, man. And thank you for that link, Mr. Donnie. Thank you for the link. Oh, you gotta love it. Oh, man. Dear black men. Dear men, but especially black men. Because white men got the complexion for the protection of the collection. So she could pick him out of obscurity, excuse me, Mr. Z couldn't even get his own statement out. Huh? The freaks is a face of disgust at the thought of dealing with anyone average. Yes, anyone average, but especially and particularly a man. A black man, average black man. Is he at least a specimen? Is he 6'3" plus or taller? I said 6'3" plus and then taller. Okay, Z, what you doing? Right? But yeah, is he 6'3" and taller? Huh? Is he built like he was sculpted by the gods? If not, then what am I doing? That's how the ladies think. Huh? Yikes. Stop asking these women this question, man. If she's rich, just assume no. And there's nothing wrong with that. She doesn't owe you saying yes. Dear men, black men, please, for the love of God, these women do not owe you yes. This is something I know we know already. I'm just stating the obvious. I know we know this. They don't owe you yes, not even for your feelings or your ego or your pride or your manhood. But guess what, men? Unlike what the other sister was saying, I'm going to play her in a minute. We don't owe them not getting our 5 chuckles in. We don't owe them not mocking them when we know they win and got the little test tube baby. We don't owe. Hey, we can make fun of you all we want. Hey, you're poor. Hey, you have to get a test tube baby and you rich. One of them is worse than the other, and it ain't being poor. How you rich and you anyway? That's why I brought up Nick Cannon earlier and Cam Newton. Huh? Yikes. The freak says a face of disgust, and that's all you saw. She got it together towards the end of her statement, but when she said built, I built. She couldn't hold it. She reeled it back. But in the beginning, huh? I built to a certain point.
If a man came along, let's say y'all both make 500K a year. He's making 70K. He got a business plan. He got a vision. He's working towards that day in and day out. And you would have to look up at him on all the intangible. Does he get a chance?
No. I would rather be single. This is the thing.
Wow.
Let me tell you why. I have gotten to a certain point because I've built to a certain point. I am disciplined.
Because I built to a certain point. Well, she would. You saw the look on her face. Did y'all see her eyes? She usually has she has a very inviting face usually. Mr. Z has been, seeing different videos of her for a little while now. She's pretty measured, right? She's pretty collected when she answers questions. She has a co-host that be speaking in the background, a female co-host, sounds like a black woman. They do a pretty good job. I like how they tag team things, even when I disagree with them, right? When they tag team the questions, okay, cool. But right there, oh, she lost it. I built to a certain point. Y'all saw, did you see her eyes? Did you see her? Hey, dear black men, stop asking these women this question. Huh? Essentially what you're asking them to do is go to the store and buy the cheap soda. Huh? Buy the store brand cereal, the store brand paper towels, the store brand plate. That's how they see it. When she has the money. In her mind, she has the money to go out and buy the Pepsi or the Coca-Cola. Why are you telling her to buy the store brand? Huh? Why are you telling her to wait for the government cheese when she earns enough to buy something gourmet, practically? You telling her to go to your local grocery store where she can afford to go to Trader Joe's or Whole Foods. Why? Huh? Could we stop asking these women this question, please? And Cheryl Bentley says, and like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Shout out to the replay gang. And Cheryl Bentley says, elephant in the room question. What if the man falls off? If you lose your beauty, then it is acceptable for him to get a new hotness. Come on, Cheryl, you already know the answer is no. You stay there, sir. You stay. Look, we already know how often a man losing his job is a countdown to divorce. Now, women could say, oh, he lost his purpose and he lost his way. He became mean and he became whatever they want to say. Look, he stopped being paymaster and I was out. Huh? He used to pay the car note. He can't afford to pay the car note anymore. Huh? We about to lose the house. Yeah, I'm out. I'm out. The system and the society refuses to grapple with the fact. See, if you're elite, then that's a different conversation. But they refuse to grapple with the fact that with the issue that we're having now is that average women don't want to be with average men. Forget the elites or at least the well-resourced women like Sarah. Forget women like, and that's what the short hair young lady was saying. We're gonna play both of the clips. because these are the two that I was actually trying to find earlier. Y'all will see why I said two in a minute. The short-haired young lady said it. We can't even stay on the $70,000 a year, man. Even though we're trying, that's what we were supposed to be talking about. Now we're talking about $300,000. $300,000 a year. The system refuses to, before we even start talking about Sarah and her ilk and women that earn similar money to her, the women that earn less than the men don't want to be with the men that earn a little bit more than them because they think they're settling. Z, use a better word. They feel like they're settling. And I want to stress this once again. They don't owe you, dear men, dear black men, anything. They owe you nothing. They don't owe you yes. They don't owe you their femininity. They don't owe you being kind or cordial. They don't even owe you placating you and entertaining you with the, yeah, no, I can see me with one of those. Yeah, I can do it. They don't owe you that. Likewise, you owe them nothing. Huh? And y'all give Z a second once again.
If a man came along, let's say y'all both make 500K a year. He's making 70K. He got a business plan. He got a vision. He's working towards that day in and day out. And you would have to look up at him on all the intangible. Does he get a chance?
No. I would rather be single. This is the thing.
Wow.
Let me tell you why. I have gotten to a certain point because I've built to a certain point. I am disciplined in everything. I'm disciplined in relationship with God, in my emotions, in my mentality, in my energy, in my body, and how I eat. I am very disciplined. And so I would expect that a man is the same thing. Because when you're disciplined, whatever you do the most is what compounds in your life. Why would I not give a shot to a person that makes $70,000 a year? I could put you on. Hell, I could even hire you. Come on, let's work together. We could do all of that. But as far as my man, because this is the thing, I refuse to give into a life where I start to feel like I can't have it all.
That's where the insatiableness and the gluttony, because if you already have it all, why do you need a man to give you more? Like, that's the part of the conversation that I just cannot fully understand.
And maybe
it's not love that they want.
Maybe
it's not.
Let me finish. Hold on,
Why does money have to be null and void of love?
I think it's because y'all keep going to money. Like, y'all don't really chime on like the other intangibles as much. It's mostly about the money.
But that's other tangibles. It's whole. It's all of it. If you're missing one, you can't rank one out on the scale of 1 to 10. In my lifestyle, in people that I know, I don't really know
Look at her
people
face.
that make $70,000
Well, I know.
a year.
Like, what about a high school teacher who loves the kids in his community, who's not on that money
Mike,
shit? He
that's
wants
not
to
what
serve.
I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that I am around on a daily basis, the people that I call on my phone. It's different. So I will say my vantage point for what success looks like monetarily speaking is exponentially different than most people. I understand that. And I'm not here to wrong or shame the person that makes $70,000, because the truth is every single person deserves love. But like Tasia said, that's not going to happen with me, because I live in a space where I want to follow the leadership of my man. I want my man to make the decisions inside of my household. It's not about a dollar amount. It's not, okay. No.
Because he can lead in other ways.
No.
And with finances,
you've got to lead the household. You can, look, money doesn't buy you happiness, but it buys you options.
Exactly.
This is the question. The question I want to ask in fairness.
These people just got money. They don't even, the people who think they got money don't even have no bread.
Let me ask you the question.
I disagree with you because I know the people.
I understand what the brother was trying to say. Oh, these people don't even got no bread. That's not even the point. That's not the point. Whether they do or not, that's not the point. Sarah made a very affirmative statement. Definitive statement, that's the word I was actually looking for, right? And it's her life. It's her life. If she ain't budging, she's not budging. And if she's telling you, and that's what she's saying, if she can't respect you as a boyfriend, fiance, husband, even if I'm generous and say you earn same as her or more, You're bringing in same type of income as her. You have similar wealth to her or more. She's saying she can't do it, and that's her choice and her prerogative. Could we stop looking like we're begging? Dear black men, can we stop looking like we're begging? We know how this turns out for many of these elite women, these air quotes elite black women. We know how this turns out. She owes you nothing, not even pretending like she would date someone like you. And take you seriously. Leave her be. Leave her for the Jason Blacks of the world. Shout out to Jason Black. I'm all about it. Leave all those women, all of them, anyone that talk like this, including the women that earn $37,000 a year. Leave all of them for the Jason Blacks and the Tariq Nasheeds. Wait, Z, Tariq Nasheed's married and huh? And Ross says, who's begging them though? We're not begging, but that's how they were interpreting it. Look at her face. Huh? We're not begging, but that's how she's interpreting it. Mr. Z is about leaving women like this to their own devices. Pun intended. Huh? Leave women like this to their own devices. And let's stop, in their mind at least, begging them to be around them. Leave those ladies out there with their toys. And if they sneaky linking with someone and they don't want no one to know, and it's a man that's not on none of this level talk that she's doing, then so be it. As Trell said earlier, what happens if he falls off? She leaves. I will give Sarah this. She gives me the type of vibe, and many of y'all might disagree, that maybe she shoots you a couple of dollars, or she make a phone call to somebody. Hey, Shaq, do you have any businesses that you have any positions you need anything filled? Do you know anybody? She look like she'll make a phone call for you. Sarah doesn't give me right out the door when you fall off, but she gonna leave though. She may not leave this second like many other women on her type of level will, but she gonna leave. You got all of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to get it together. She gonna leave. Skirt. Huh? Leave women women like this. Leave them for Jason Black, for Tariq Nasheed, for who else you wanna mention? Right? All of those type of brothers, the ones that we're guesstimating are earning at least $250,000 a year or more, half of maybe half, but $300,000 a year or more. Leave those women out there for them. All of the women that talk like this, once again, even the $40,000 a year women, leave them. I overheard when Jason Black was like, he was essentially saying, you brothers need to get up on this level because men like me are flooded. Our phones stay ringing off the hook. So let it ring then. How about we say no and you just drown in vagina? That's a great thing to drown in. Huh? Cam said, I disagree. The second you fall, the clock is running. No, that's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying, Cam. I'm saying she's not out the door immediately. I am saying the clock is running. That is what I'm saying. That's why I said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right? I'm in agreement with you. Maybe I said it a little bit off, but yeah. Huh? That's what it is. And let me read this from Adrian. And Adrian says it's 4 billion women on Earth, 350 million in Latin America, 800 million women in Africa, 2 billion women in Asia. Spirit flies to Colombia if you on a budget and you can get some day passports. Yeah, yeah. Same day passport. Sorry, you can get a same day passport. Yes, right. And I heard a bit of Jason Black speaking about the passport bros. Look, Jason Black, and to all the women in Jason Black and his ilk, we don't owe the women staying here to deal with their crap and listening to you punch down on us either, Jason Black. Huh? I keep on saying this. People think Z is joking. It would behoove men, black men, especially for what's coming down the pike, to force yourself to be as tough as nails as you possibly can be, right? To be able to pivot, right? For your own good and for the betterment of the people that are on your program. But for the women, absolutely not. And to be frank, the women overseas are just cheaper and they're kinder. And Jason Black knows that, by the way. Mr. Z ain't saying nothing. Jason Black, you don't already know. Why would men, especially average men, we could understand elite men can at least rent the vagina for about 5, 7, maybe 12, 15 years before she decide to leave. Average men, average black men divorce rate, it's 5 years, Jason. 5. Huh? No, Mr. Z is not about telling the men to kill yourself, to barely make it out of the middle, out of average, out of the median, two different things, but still fine, just to get average women who still think they're better than you and who still gonna leave you within 5 years. For what? When you could go to the bush somewhere in Africa, in Latin America, in East or South Asia, damn near buy a wife. If not buy her, at least get a woman on your program. Even if you were to move her back to the States, at least she's on your program for a little bit. Huh? Okay, fine. Let's say she is gonna divorce you eventually. Your marriage is gonna last longer than that 5 years. Oops. And she will at least pretend to be on your program for that 10 or 12 years before she leave your ass. Huh? If we go and talk about it, let's be about it. She gonna at least pretend to be on your program. She gonna at least cook. She at least gonna give you sloppy toppy for the 12 years y'all together. Okay, fine. For the 11 years before she filed for divorce, the 10 and a half years before she filed for divorce, and y'all finally get divorced in 12 years. At least for 10 and a half years, whee! Huh? And thank you for the super chat, Adrian. Thank you for the super chat. And Adrian also says, and thank you for the super chat again, he says, Jason Black can have every American black woman, and I will call him Mac of the Year. Yeah, look, I appreciate Jason Black's channel. I listen. I'm a subscriber. I've been listening to Jason Black since the days of Tommy Sotomayor. I've been listening to Jason Black for a very long time, right? A very long time. Right now, we're dealing with like the tyranny of the outliers. Z, you can argue that's all of human history. True. And the outliers are just doing way too much talking and they can't even imagine the purview, or they do a really bad job of speaking of the folks that this is you. You earn, as we said earlier, 70 grand a year, and you're gonna be in that income range for the rest of your life. You're gonna increase with your income is gonna increase with inflation. Maybe you get a percent or two over that some years, and some years you fall a percent or two under that. And what this entire society is saying, particularly the women, but the outlier men also, is okay, well, just die and move out the way. Shut up. You don't have an opinion. You can't say nothing. You have no political rights. You just shut up, and whatever happened to you happened to you, because you ain't trying to kill yourself to be rich or elite or wealthy. So get pooped on by society, get pooped on by elite men, get ignored by average women, God forbid women that are above average. Outlier men, outlier women, average women, the social and political sphere are telling average men, if you don't just die and move out the way already, okay, you won't? You won't practice seppuku? Okay, then just shut the hell up for everything. Especially the black community. Let the women talk for you, talk to you, talk at you, talk for you and at you. There you go, Z. Boom. Huh? Move out the way. Huh? Y'all seen Sarah's face? Oh, but it gets better. Here you go.
The conversations that we have, and women are literally saying, I make $300,000. If a man came along, the conversations that we have, and women are literally saying, I make $300,000 a year. If he makes $100K, he's not viable.
But wait, Doc, this
So
is what I'm
we're not
saying.
talking
I'm saying
extreme.
the leadership. It's about leadership. So for me,
But money
if
doesn't
I'm
equate
good-
to
No,
leadership
y'all
at
let me
all.
finish. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying if you are going to lead me in the ways, that means you need to have the mindset. That means you need to have the mentality, the emotions, the spirit, the energy. If you're going to lead this household, I don't want to have to slow down to let you pass me up.
The average woman doesn't make that much money.
That's true.
Right? The actual listener is making 50, 70, maybe 80. Right. So what happens to the man that only makes 50, 70, 80? Is he now completely disqualified? Because we've completely changed the conversation. We said average. Now we're talking about men that make $300,000 a year. We can't even keep the conversation to the same topic of the average man. He's still being bypassed in the conversation. So if he's being bypassed in the conversation where we can't even stay on topic and talk about the man, imagine the women that's listening to the conversation, their mind is still going to the $300,000 man.
Can I just say one more thing? Even if you are that 50, 60, 70,000 earning man, there is still a desire for you at some point to make enough to where your wife doesn't have to work.
Yes.
Are people not able to make a living and provide a beautiful life with $50,000? That's crazy. That is exactly what he said. That's what he said. That's exactly what he said. And to allude to a person, if a person makes under a certain amount of money, to say that they don't have the ability to lead, provide, and have all of these things, that's exactly what y'all are saying. Y'all are going around about a way to say it, but that's how people are perceiving the things that y'all say.
There's a component of this that we are missing.
Listen.
And that is that men that are not happy with where they are financially are mean. They treat you terribly, okay? If you meet somebody and they're a 300K woman, that may not be quite the lane for you. It doesn't mean that I value you less. It doesn't mean, but you're going to perform better. You're going to be a better person. You're going to have a better mindset. You're going to be in a clearer space when you feel valued, safe, at peace with where you are. And it's no harm, no foul in that. Stay there in that lane with the women that are in alignment with you, and don't be mad at us calling us broke gold diggers, dirty bald head scallywags on the internet.
We don't owe you that.
We are in this lane. It would be wonderful to meet a man and he's like, babe, let's do this together. Let's build.
We don't owe you that either.
You got that. You got my back. I got your back. But the reality of it is because I went to school, I was valedictorian, I graduated, I got a master's degree, I did all this. Now you mad at me because you not in my lane. Get
Where's
in your
your
lane,
man?
make
Where's
some
the
more
ring?
money, and then come over here. Now we all good.
Nope.
It's simple.
No, man, we gonna make that money. Actually, your sons are gonna make that money and go get them a white woman or a Latina. Ooh, goddamn, Z, stop doing that, Z. And the men your age are gonna get that money and get on the plane and get out of here. Ew. Huh? And this brings us to KMS's super chat, perfect timing. And KMS says, a poor woman wants a rich man. A rich woman wants a richer man. Eliminating the commonalities. Why do women have money? The rich woman is redundant. And there you go. The rich woman is redundant. I would like to present to you Exhibit A and B. Sarah and the other young lady. Stay in your lane, and in the women are in alignment with that lane over there. Translation: could you stay over there, you little Negro? And Negro is not the word she really meant. You little Negroes need to stop talking. Why do you even have a voice? Huh? What Wayne said, broke Negroes only make jokes. I'll make more than I can fit in this quote. Huh? Yeah. I appreciate what she was saying because she pretty much reiterated exactly what Sarah said. Yeah. Broke men are mean. Broke men who are not happy where they are mean. Ma'am, the question once again, or the statement better yet, is it that those men are mean, or is it that women like you and the men who you should be with that are on your level, but somehow y'all are not ending up with each other? Anyway, are the ones that keep on reminding him very overtly and purposely that he shouldn't be with a woman of your caliber. Z, you being real generous, I know. Huh? Yikes. Huh? And let me see if I can find that comment. Y'all give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Where did that comment from Saint Cyr go? Because I think that was Saint Cyr that said that's the problem. It's a workaround. And that's the problem they really have. It truly is. Huh? I'm looking. Where did that comment go? It ran. There we go. And Saint Cyr says bingo. And that's why they hate the concept of passport, bro. It's a workaround to their BS. Yeah. I said a neoliberal assessment of men. I've been saying that for years. I've said it on Green Gorilla's channel, BGS's channel, Charles' channel, The Roger Report's channel, Kev from being black men being brutally honest channel, Rogue's channel, my own Z's channel. I think I might even sit it on Edge channel, AB Media's channel. Goddamn Z. I think I might have said it on Obsidian's channel too. Damn Z. Did I say it on Bernard Riley's channel? Maybe that too. I said neoliberal assessment of men. That's what I said. Huh? And that's what you're hearing from these ladies. There is no better way to say it. Neoliberal assessment of men. That is what you're hearing from these ladies. We understand and appreciate that traditionally men have been the protectors and providers, and that's their natural place. We appreciate that. We're living in a different environment, huh? A hyper financialized environment. The women are now working. Under the age of 30, the women are out earning the men in many metropolitan areas. Huh? Just like some men, some women are earning ungodly amount of money. And in that environment, we're still demanding that those women, better yet, Z, say it a different way, We're demanding that the men get on those women, quote unquote, level. And we're here. Huh? And we're here. And once again, KMS, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. They're showing how redundant they are. Like, do people really appreciate, like, when you're earning 300 some odd $1,000 a year, you're in the top, what, 5-ish%? Maybe even less than that, something like the top 5-ish% of income earners as a woman, right? Imagine what you're demanding from men. Now, Sarah gives me, I don't see her with the white dude, right? I'm not saying it's not possible because, to be fair with you, I think every woman of color, send the right white dude at them, they going. But I don't see her with the white dude, so you're essentially asking for the top, demanding the top, what, 3-ish, 2-ish% of black men? Because if it's white, if it's 5% of men in America that earn $300,000 a year or more, give or take, maybe the top 6-ish%, 7-ish, right? But I'm pretty sure it's top 5-ish. So for black men, that's probably closer to the top 3-ish%, maybe. Then you're talking about 20-ish million black men. So what's 3% of like 20-ish million? Maybe even 2.8%, 2.7%, something like that. See, you're doing some weird math. I know. Huh? Yikes. So, oh no, Michelle Billy said, Nazi, it's actually top 0.03%. Huh? Top point zero, and you wonder why they sound delusional. What I appreciate about Sarah is what she said in the first clip. I'm not around men like that earn 70 grand a year. So you're in super rare air. Super rare air. There's something, what did they say about when you start getting really, really high in the atmosphere and the thin air, and what did they say that makes you hallucinate, right? Or it's harder to breathe? Huh? Is that why the women up there sound absolutely delusional? So you're surrounded by these men. No wedding ring yet. Okay, fine. Right? And with that, you talking like this. I want to remind us, Sarah owes us nothing. Just stand back, stand by. Wait a minute, Z, you sound like Trump. Huh? Stand back, stand by, and just watch. Let's watch her quote unquote love life and how that ends up. I would argue you're going to see a lot of this. Dear black men, you're going to see a lot of this. Huh? Huh? Mr. DJ said she would date the average white in a second. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that applies to most women, and maybe Mr. Z got the rose-colored glasses on. I'll take that. I don't think so. Not for her. Right? I think when you meet certain folks, certain women, they really mean that money thing. They really mean that. Color of man be damned. Because the way they see the world, they see manhood and masculinity, they see them quote unquote, giving up their freedom or their liberation, their ability to do whatever they want to do, however they want to do it, especially if they're well resourced, if they're giving that up to be in a relationship with you and you might have the final say, God forbid they marry you, the only way for them to even justify it to themselves, you got to have more than the skin color. You got to have the money, right? Right. I would agree with you on the vast majority of women of color. I think they're full of crap. But I do think there are a handful of women of color, black women included, that know, Playboy, you got to come with that money. That trump everything. Because I can't see me even play respecting you. I can't see me allowing for you to have the final word. I can't see me adhering to any of that. If I have to, quote unquote, submit myself to your leadership and there's not a financial gain attached to that. Huh? So yeah, I understand where you come from, but I do think there are women, white, black, Latina, Asian, or otherwise. Nah, bro. Hey, bro, you gotta walk with the money, bro. Right? I know I'm speaking about a handful of women on planet Earth. On Earth, Z, on Earth. There's a handful of women that really mean this money thing, and race be damned. Right? And Leon says, what's wrong with the men up there that she knows they're not choosing her? Or she might be out here dating. I watched a clip of her saying, at one point she had a roster, right? She was getting piped by all of the dudes, right? She kept her legs closed, but she had a roster. I'm not even going to debate the legs open or closed thing. Fine. It's just not working out. And there's something to be said about being in your late 30s and being a quote unquote successful woman who increasingly your star is rising. We see her, she's out here in these, black YouTube, Twitter streets, Instagram streets, right? TikTok streets. We see her, but they call it black Twitter. We see her in all over black Twitter. So you're in your late 30s. You've increased your profile. You've heightened your profile. That should garner you that type of attention, right? So, give it a couple of years. Let's see if there's a brother, around her age, maybe a couple years older, who also doesn't have kids or who does but wants to do family 2.0. And maybe she wasn't on their radar before, but now she is. You being supremely generous. I know. Huh? And let's see in the next 2-3 years if we see her with one of these retired NBA players or NFL players or rappers or any type of entertainer, or maybe a brother that was behind the scenes. Huh? No, don't say that, Raw. And Raw says, look, Raw, I gotta go listen to that. Raw said, Z, what was that you were saying? Look, listen to this. And Raw says, she said it when she was talking to Tony. She'll pop up with an average white man. Well, there you go. Now what, Z? What about that generosity now? Look, I gotta listen to it. I gotta hear it with my own ears, Raw. Oh, man. Huh? Ah. Huh? So we know what it is. Women like this are around the type of men who earn the type of money and who have the type of success and notoriety that these women covet. Locking those men down is a whole different question, right? Being around them, working with them, interviewing them, having them interview you is one thing. Being in a relationship with them, being married to them, being married to those men for a lifetime, that's a whole different question now, isn't it? Huh? And Leon, once again, thank you for the super chat. And Joe says, people don't think that outliers can have BS jobs. I know, right? And that goes to like the financialization of the environment. And I'm going to play the clip from Economic Circuit. I might cover that tomorrow. I was going to try to cover it today. I was supposed to be on the run. Mr. Z is playing with time right now. But yeah, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat talking about that. But yeah, I agree. It's because the way we see money, it trumps everything. It is the value within itself. It doesn't signal value. I want us to cut the crap. In this hyper-financialized environment, the money is the motive. The money signals everything. We add all type of, we layer the money on. The money signals everything. That's what Sarah was saying. Huh? What she's saying is when I see you and you have a certain level of financial success, that signals that you're disciplined pretty much in everything. She didn't say it, but she said it. Huh? Now, we're not talking about no $80,000 a year brothers, 90, even 100. We're talking about 300 plus. It signals a certain type of discipline. Okay, fine. But as Joe says here, we act like you can't have a BS job, be earning good money. And by the way, that BS job is on a sliding scale. I don't know if Trell's still listening. Y'all recall 10 and 12 years ago, it was all about coders. It was all about coding. What's happening now? BS jobs is on a sliding scale. KMS used the word redundant a minute ago. BS jobs in a redundant job, which means it doesn't exist, is on a sliding scale. You could be super valuable today and for the next 10 and 15 years, and then wake up one day and your job gets automated out, and now guess what? Your position is redundant. And if they keep you on, guess what? That's a BS job. And that's a ticking time bomb because they're not going to keep you for long, especially private sector. Huh? Especially private sector. What was the name of the guy that wrote the book, BS Jobs? And he spoke about that. Huh? That's on a sliding scale. There are positions that young folks been going to school for, and we've heard this from people my age, from some of you Xers. I'm pretty sure the boomers, but definitely for some of the Xers, they went to school for this little niche thing, and by the time they came out of college, it's a waste. Now, clearly you have a degree, you can always fit yourself somewhere else, but yeah. In Florida, if I'm not mistaken, we're getting more. There's more and more folks. I don't know about other states, but in Florida, we're flooded with attorneys. Flooded. Huh? Especially when times get hard, people stay in school longer. So you're getting more and more folks with master's degrees, more and more folks that go to law school. They ain't going to go to med school. That's way too much. Too much money, too much time. and a lot of discipline. Law school, discipline, a little bit of time, right? But yeah, that's what it is. BS jobs. And yes, you can be earning really good money in a BS job. Let's see how long that's gonna last. Put a super chat. All right, and let me see because I think I saw something. Y'all gives you a second because this came up, but it's not showing. Y'all gives you a second. We get a little bit of technical difficulties. Y'all gives you a second. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay, we're back. Now I can see that. Because yeah, it showed me that KMS put a super chat, but it wasn't showing me. Oh, stop counting. That's weird. Okay. Anyway, for those of us that have a YouTube channel, yeah. Okay. Anyway, and KMS says, and thank you for the super chat. A king can make any woman a queen. A queen cannot make a man a king. I think Britain just changed those laws a few years ago, KMS. I think they just changed that a few years ago. I'm not 100% sure. So don't quote me on that 100%, but I think those laws might have changed or something around that might have changed a couple years ago, a few years before the queen died. I want to say that changed before that queen died. Yeah. So somebody look into that. I'm almost certain about that. But continue reading. A king can make any woman a queen. A queen cannot make any man a king. He has to be made king by birth of his own hands. So saith the woman. Women with money make themselves worthless. There you go. Yes. So this reminds me of what Lion says. Um, yeah, no, this remind. Oh, don't y'all run into each other? Please don't run into each other in front of me. I don't want to see it. You ever hope you don't see something? You like I I don't want to see it. I just whatever goes on, I just don't want. I don't want to be a witness. But I'm not going to be a witness. I'm gonna act like I ain't seen nothing. But I don't want to see it. But continuing. Yeah, no. This is the hypergamy bites women in the ass. Like Lion says all the time, hypergamy doesn't care about women either. And they're the ones who's hypergamous. Imagine that. Your own hypergamy biting you in the ass. As KMS says, so saith the women. Women with money make themselves worthless. Ooh. One thing you have to give Keke Palmer, as much as I disagree with her framing, when she was on that, I want to say it was a radio show, but there's actual video recording of it, and she was saying like, you know one thing Keke don't need? Money. I'm looking for my Stedman. Like now, once again, the framing, yeah, can't do it. With that, you're seeing a young lady. See, she ain't that young, but still okay. You're seeing a young lady actually come to terms with, I'm probably not like, I don't really care to be with one of these dudes at Hollywood. Not saying that the dudes at Hollywood care to be with her either, but it's not like if it happened, it happened. If it don't, it don't. I don't really care about the money like that because I've been making money since I was a kid. So, yeah, I don't. I'm looking for something different. And based off the white guys we've seen her date before and the light skinned brothers we've seen her date, she looking for a specimen. She looking for somebody to get that shiny wet. I hear her. Huh? But outside of like women like Keke Palmer in those type of spaces and that type of rare air, huh? And maybe Nicki Minaj, huh? who double back on what, a high school sweetheart or the type of men that imprinted on her when she was younger. Outside of women like that, the hypergamy be kicking women in the ass. Their own hypergamy is kicking them in the ass. Imagine that. We cover these things, and I want to come back right back to it to stress to everyday men, especially you younger brothers, do not be offended. Yes, the women are attempting to be offensive for many of them. Leave them be. If you would get your 5 chuckles in the next 5-10 years, when you hear, oh, she's thawing out the eggs, you didn't know she had the eggs on ice, right? She's thawing out the eggs, she's gonna go get inseminated, or she's gonna have the eggs inseminated, she's gonna put the eggs in a donor woman or whatever the hell, or she's gonna birth the child herself, however that math's gonna math. If you want to get your 5 chuckles in the next 5-10 years, if you hear that from any one of these type of women, even if it's not Sarah herself, then so be it. But outside of that, those women don't owe us anything, and that's okay. Huh? And that's okay. Just watch hypergamy beat their ass. And KMS, thank you for the super chat. Watch their own hypergamy put a foot in their ass. Huh? Uh-oh. Lion says hypergamy doesn't care if he's married. Uh-oh. Huh? Yeah, no, I know the joke of the wife store, right? The men, it's more like a level, right? The men are happy if they get a woman that cook, that gives sloppy toppy, that that doesn't nag. The men usually stop by floor 2, maybe 3. If he's really high maintenance dude, maybe the 4th floor at the highest. The women keep on going up until they reach the roof, and then it's like, oh, by the way, these men don't exist. We've heard it before. Well, many of us have heard it before, right? The women keep on going until there's no more going. Goddamn. Huh? We already know. Everyone says it. Everyone knows it. You tell men, hey, we can't get you 100% of what you're asking for from women, but we got you this woman right here, and she's 80% of what you asking for, including the looks element. Men are running out the door. We're grabbing her and running out the door. Thank you. Keep the change. We're out the door. Anything more than 80%, we feel like we run the lottery. We're gonna run out the door before you change your mind. But 80%, keep the change. We're running out the door. We jumping in the car. We're peeling off like we robbed the store. The women on the other side, anything that's not 100% is settling. It doesn't matter how delusional it is. It doesn't matter whether it's informed by childhood trauma. It doesn't matter if it's informed by inferiority complex. It doesn't matter if it's in how delusional it is. Anything less than 100%, she feel like she's settled. And she gonna talk and move like she feel like she's settled. Huh? To be fair to you, men are running out the store like they stole something. Anything 70% and above. They're gonna be okay with 60% and above. They don't feel like they really got gypped until you start dipping under 60. Definitely 50. That's when the men start feeling like they got gypped. The women feel like they got gypped if they're in a certain circle. And why does she get to have that and I don't? And that's all it takes. Huh? She gets 6'5", I can't get 6'5". Huh? She get a $250,000 man, I don't get to get a $250,000 man. Huh? And that's what it is. Mr. Strict to you says 80% man, I'll do 50-55 if she knows how to shut the hell up. Oh man. And true. Huh? So we're going into a new era, everyone. Y'all are going to see more and more of Mr. Z speaking about these things. And shout out to the Raj Report. I was on the Raj Report stream. What, that was maybe a week ago, maybe even longer than that. And a brother said in the comments, "Mr. Z tying postmodernism to the current landscape and blah blah blah." And the Raj Report went under that comment and said, "Z does good work." And thank you, Roger Report, and thank you to that brother. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shout out to y'all. Look, I'm gonna do another for the brother stream coming up soon. And yeah, I'm gonna keep on doing that. We gonna tie this for the fourth industrial wave to the ladies, to stress to the young men, the men that are coming of age, the brothers that are turning 18, the brothers that are turning 21, the brothers that are turning 25, the brothers that are turning 30, because y'all are the future. And stress to y'all, they're gonna be screaming, they're not gonna know what's going on, they're gonna be getting kicked in their ass, and it's up to you what you gonna do with them. Accountable commentary told y'all no reach back. Huh? Mr. Z telling you no reach black. Ooh, goddamn. Huh? The nameless protagonist told you you gonna have a choice between that hive model, huh? DeLoreanism. And the black community is gonna default to the hive. We already know this. The black community is already the hive. Oops. Huh? Dear black men, talking about money, talking about status, you have to position yourself in ways to insulate yourself as much as humanly possible. Nothing is guaranteed. There is no silver bullet, but there are best practices. And if black women don't want to get on your program and start inform these families to insulate the kids, her, and you, then so be it. Find somebody else. Oops. Huh? This is exactly what I'm saying. And St. Cyr says harm reduction, basically. Best practices. Exactly. Huh? If the ladies are not going to get on your program, if black women are not going to get on your program, find someone else. Huh? And be prepared to see things that are going to make you uncomfortable. And that might bring a tear to your eye. I don't think these people fully appreciate how much, and as Joe said and as KMS said, they're redundant. What they're doing is redundant. We can replace them tomorrow, tonight, right now. Huh? And how much what they're doing is somewhat BS. It's superficial. Huh? So on that note, y'all, shout out to the replay gang. Shout out to y'all for listening in. Sarah owes us nothing. Shout out to Tony Baker for asking the question in a slightly different way, and Sarah pretty much reiterating what she said before. Now she added there's a slight caveat. Now it's like, well, if he's not okay with 70 and he's willing to kind of move on up, then yeah, maybe. Mr. Z don't know if I believe her. Huh? So we're gonna play those clips, make our final statements, and we're gonna end it on out. Here y'all go.
Currently, I'm being eaten alive on the internet because I was asked,
What you say?
would I date a man that makes $70,000? What do you think my answer
I know
was?
your answer was no, because we had the conversation. I was like, really?
Now tell me why that's bad.
I don't think it's bad.
Why is it judged so harshly?
Because a lot of people fall into that price range.
What does that have to do with me?
Because immediately people go into, oh, you talking about me.
Right.
And so that's the knee jerk.
Yeah.
So that's why they're like, oh, this is that and the third.
Right.
And you have the people that have been gold dug on.
Okay.
And oh, she just after the money, man. And so you got that coming at you.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody has their preference.
Everybody has their preference.
For me, I'm team preference. I'm like, you like what you like. Because a lot of times we don't have any control over what we like.
Yeah.
What about this?
Okay, tell me.
Let's say you meet a man.
Ooh.
Everything is on point.
Oh, spicy.
With that salary. He's 70,000, but
Yeah.
everything about him is right up your alley.
So this is my question. Is he committed to the 70,000 or is that just right now?
No, it's just right now. He's open
that's
to
different.
he's open to, he's trying to do different
He's an
things
entrepreneur.
within his business, whatever that may be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The 70,000 is not the end all be all for
Okay,
him.
well that's completely different.
Yeah.
And is it potential in action? Like is he in action or is he just talking?
He's moving and shaking. He's
Oh,
moving
that's
and shaking.
completely different
ambition.
story.
But he's 70 grand in. And he might be 70 grand in for the first 3-4 years y'all dating.
Okay.
But he's still moving and shaking.
There's no way a man's gonna come around me and stay at 70 grand for 3-4 years. That's not even realistic.
But would you help him?
I would help him. That's what I'm saying. There's no way with me on your
there's a
side.
chance.
Yeah, that was a different question though.
Yeah, there's a chance.
If you're committed to 70,000, I don't fit in that vision for life. But if you're growing your business and you just don't know, or you need the right relationships, or you need to be in different rooms, I know my role.
What if
Mm-hmm.
he's a phenomenal school teacher that's passionate about what he does?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's not necessarily a career where you could just be like, yo, I'm shooting for that 90,000. He just.
Tony Baker. Shout out to our brother Tony Baker. Funny, like I said, seeing him live in person. Funny, cool as a fan. Brother, nah. Right? The women put that financial requirement there, whatever her financial requirement is, and so be it. She owes you nothing, and that's okay. Huh? She owes you nothing, and that's okay. Lion says she can wait at the finish line, but you get finish line treatment. But all you get is finish line treatment. Huh? So, y'all heard what she said. Y'all heard, once again, Sarah said it again. Y'all asked her again. This is Ebony K. Williams all over again. Could we please stop asking these women this question? And if we do, which I don't suggest we do that, when they give you the answer and they seem annoyed and they seem aggravated, that because they feel like you're trying to force low shelf alcohol on them, bottom shelf, I don't know why I said low shelf, bottom shelf alcohol on them. Huh? Check soda, even though cream check soda is fire, but grape check soda is fire too. But you try to force cream and he couldn't even get it out. the Chex Cola on them. They don't get to get the name brand like Pepsi and Coke. That's how the women internalize it. It's insulting to them. So as Mr. Z is saying, leave them be. All right. So we're going to play this clip again. Once again, as I said the first time, look at Sarah's face when she answers. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat.
If a man came along, let's say y'all both make $500K a year. He's making $70K. He got a business plan. He got a vision. He's working towards that day in and day out. And you would have to look up at him on all the intangible. Does he get a chance?
No. I would rather be single. This is the thing.
Why?
Let me tell you why. I have gotten to a certain point because I've built to a certain point. I am disciplined in everything. I'm disciplined in relationship with God, in my emotions, in my mentality, in my energy, in my body, and how I eat. I am very disciplined. And so I would expect that a man is the same thing. Because when you're disciplined, whatever you do the most is what compounds in your life. Why would I not give a shot to a person that makes $70,000 a year? I could put you on. Hell, I could even hire you. Come on, let's work together. We could do all of that. But as far as my man, because this is the thing, I refuse to give into a life where I start to feel like I can't have it all.
That's where the insatiableness and the gluttony, because if you already have it all, why do you need a man to give you more? Like, that's the part of the conversation that I just cannot fully understand.
And maybe it's not love that they want.
Maybe
it's not.
Let me finish.
Why does money have to be null and void of love?
I think it's because y'all keep going to money. Like, y'all don't really chime on like the other intangibles as much. It's mostly about the money.
But that's other tangibles. It's whole. It's all of it. If you're missing one, you can't rank one out on the scale of 1 to 10. In my lifestyle, in people that I know, I don't really know any people that make $70,000
well, I know.
a year.
Like, what about a high school teacher who loves the kids in his community, who's not on that money shit? He wants to serve.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that I am around on a daily basis, the people that I call on my phone. It's different. So I will say my vantage point for what success looks like monetarily speaking is exponentially different than most people. I understand that. And I'm not here to wrong or shame the person that makes 70,000, because the truth is every single person deserves love. But like Tasia said, that's not going to happen with me, because I live in a space where I want to follow the leadership of my man. I want my man to make the decisions inside of my household. It's not about a dollar amount. It's not, oh, okay. No,
because he can lead in other ways.
No,
and with finances,
you've got to lead the household. You can look. Money doesn't buy you happiness, but it buys you options.
Exactly.
This is the question. The question I want to ask in fairness.
These people just got money. They don't even. The people who think they got money don't even have no bread.
Let me ask you the question.
I disagree with you because I know the people.
I didn't make mention of this earlier. Let me make mention of this before we end it on out. Everyone deserves love, no, absolutely not. Nope. That's men or women. You make yourself likable, you make yourself lovable. Not everyone deserves love. You can't be a terror. You can't be mean, condescending, rude, entitled, bratty. Generally an unpleasant person, unkind. And then everyone deserves love. This crap. And you notice y'all hear women say this all the time. How often do y'all hear men say that? Everyone deserves love. No. If you're a shrewd, unpleasant person, an unkind person, you're not deserving of love. If you make it difficult to be around, you're not deserving of love. And when we say love, we're speaking about a romantic partner type of love. That borderline Disney-esque love? No, nope. It would behoove your parents. It would be a good thing if your parents, at least up until you're 18 years old, at least pretend like they love you. That would be great. Outside of that, nope. Not friends, not other family members and relatives, not co-workers, not even somebody that's smashing. No one is deserving of love. You make yourself likable, lovable, right? You endear yourself to certain folks. People like your company, and you will find that people love on you. People love on you. When I say that, I mean platonically and romantically. For men, men will love on you. I don't mean that in the giggity way. Women will love on you. For women, women will love on you. Men will love on you. No one is deserving of love. It would be great if we treat our children as if we love them because we do. And I'm not talking about just your individual children. I'm talking about young folks. And we instill in them the love of people and the love of humanity. But as adults, especially over the age of 25-year-old adults, oh no. Huh? No one is deserving of love. This is something I've been disagreeing with folks for the longest. Particularly, obviously, women, because you don't hear men say that. Because everything about men's life, from when you're a little boy, it's competition. Everything they put you in, it's timed. It's competition. You compete against someone else. Huh? Mr. Z plays Forza. I haven't played in a while. If I don't get first place, I'm not quote unquote deserving of first place. And there's races where you should have won first place, but somebody pit maneuvered you, and you couldn't get it back. Huh? And there you go, fourth place. You even get second or third. They knocked you straight out of podium. Welp. There's time when someone is so much faster than you, they mess you up, they get a massive penalty, and they still beat you. Wait, how does that happen? They're so much faster than you. They mess you up when they're passing you. They got a 4-second penalty. They gap you so much, they still beat you. But they gapped you by 5 seconds. Uh-oh. Did you deserve to be in first? If you couldn't close that gap at least to 3 seconds, so that, yeah, they passed the finish line first, but you still won first place off a technicality? Did you deserve first? Huh? No adult is deserving of love. You make yourself lovable by the things you do, by the way you speak, by the way you treat people, by the way you interact with folks, by the way people see you, other people see you. What they remember about you, what they like about you. Huh? And Lion says, my issue with this mindset is that you choosing to wait at the finish line proves that you have no loyalty to anyone or anything but yourself. But they don't. They don't. They definitely don't have loyalty to you. You're a tool. A tool for the babies. A tool for the lifestyle. You earn more than them and you extend yourself to them. You extend the extras to them. Right? And you're a tool to subsidize them in their lifestyle. Once again, the average man spends $5,000 to $12,000 more per year when in relationship. And there you go. Huh? Taught W41. Brother, you gotta tell me how to pronounce this, because I'm gonna read this in a minute. I think I got something funny to say about it. Right. So Lion, they're not loyal. Not the ones that think like this anyway, which is most, the vast majority, the vast majority. They're not loyal. Loyal to a man? Eh. A black man on top of that? Yeah. They're not loyal. What is that? What language are you speaking right now? It ain't English. It ain't the language of business. English is the language of business, sir. You're talking about loyalty while speaking the language of business. Absolutely not. And you're talking about the XX chromosome side of the game. Absolutely not. Huh? Lion, you were in the military. What do they say about allies? Or friendship, better yet. What do they say? America has no permanent allies, only permanent interests? Uh-oh. What did BGS say about being married to the game? Ooh. Pim God say about being married to the game? Ouch. Huh? I'm watching this Benz bully this goddamn Hyundai. Benz GLE 63 just bullied the goddamn Hyundai. They were both kind of trying to go to the same spot, and they both looked at each other, and the Benz just started scooting up, and the Hyundai backed up. Oh man, yeah, you in the right part of the Tri-County, because you would have tried to pull that somewhere else. They'd be like, hey, look, I don't care about this car. We can all die. Back to the topic. But yeah, y'all, but it was a newer Hyundai. He cared about his car. And it was an SUV. He cared about his truck, right? But yeah, that Benz. Yeah, I had to be here and see it from the angle I saw it in, because yeah, it's hysterical. Yeah, Lion, they're you talk about, first of all, we're speaking the language of business. And then we're speaking about the XX chromosome side of the game. They're loyal to the game, not to us. They're loyal to the lifestyle. They're loyal to how they were raised, and they were raised to get it by any means necessary. Whatever that dream is, the lifestyle. Huh? And once again, the average man spends $5,000 to $12,000 more per year when in relationship. Huh? They're loyal to you being a tool. The second you're no longer a satisfactory enough tool, skirt, she out the door. No, she's out the door. Let me see if this brother told me how to pronounce the name. Top of the world, age 41. Okay, TOTW, top of the world. Okay, all right, top of the world. Okay. I got you. Now I was gonna say earlier, I was like, I was about to end it on out, right? But God said, gifts come to those who wait. That's not what he said, Z. You remixing. I know. Huh? And Top of the World says, just found your channel, loving the content. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Shout out to my day one. So hopefully, well, you said you loving the content. I was about to say hopefully you like the content, which talking about being redundant. Thank you very much. I have some really good stuff. We don't always talk about the women here. Every time I say that, I think of Terry on what's it, Friday After Next? Where he's like, I don't care about these hoes. Is that what he said? I think that's what he said. I ain't here for these hoes. It's the way he said it too. Oh man. So every time I think about it, saying like we don't always talk about the women here. We don't always talk about the hoes here. That's not the only thing that Z's covered. As a matter of fact, like I said, I want to cover something that I saw on the economic circuit. And I should have did it today. It's gonna be hell trying to do this later on this week, maybe even next weekend. I really should have pulled it off today. And I got things to do with Ms. Z, so that's gonna be difficult. With that, hopefully you enjoy the channel more. We don't only talk about the hoes. Shout out to Terry Crews. And yeah, brother. Thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you very much for the super chat. Just found your channel, loving the content, right? And he said top of the world. Okay. All right. Z cracking himself up. Oh man. And Lion says, "You seen the new Scat Pack? I will check it out. I want to say I think I know what you're talking about. Because I heard a dump because Stellantis is hemorrhaging right now. Z, look, we're supposed to in it on out. See, Trail one, talk about cars, talk about cars, talk about cars, car talk, car talk. So Stellantis is hemorrhaging money. We already know about Nissan. The car manufacturers, many of them are like teetering right now. Some are doing better than others at the teetering. First, as I said, Gen Z and millennials don't got it. We don't got it. That's number one. Like y'all hear Z say it, but I don't think y'all really appreciate how much we don't got it. And Z is doing okay-ish right now in life. And I hesitate to even say that, right? But we don't got it. We just don't. So there's number one about the car manufacturers. Y'all trying to sell us $50,000+ cars. We don't got it. Number one. Number two, that whole EV trend is kind of teetering out. So Stellantis, nobody's trying to buy a EV, a $70,000-$80,000 EV car with fake speakers that sound like a AI cat, right? Electronic cat, right? What type of weird stereo cat sound is coming from this? What they call it, the phonetic, whatever they call it, exhaust sound? Yawn. Now, is it quick? Yes. Does it weigh more than Jupiter? Yes. Why the EV weigh damn near 5,000 pounds? It's supposed to be a quote unquote muscle car. So yeah, they were gonna have to do they were gonna have to put a V8 in there. The Turbo 6, the performance, kick ass. But we're American. And Americans want their V8s, bro. Especially for a muscle car. Can Americans go without the V8 in a truck? Yes. But even Ford had to put the V8 back in the F-150 because when they first came out with the previous generation EcoBoost, it was only going to be EcoBoost. People were like, excuse me. So they put the V8 in there. Was it the 5.4 or 5.0? 5.4, I want to say. So I don't know what the hell Stellantis, Dodge, for those of you that don't get it, Dodge is under Stellantis now. I don't know what the hell Stellantis was thinking that they were going to be making muscle cars? Producing muscle cars without a V8? And then on top of that, okay, the EV people got pissed off about that. Then y'all were like, okay, we'll put the Hurricane motor in there. That's the V6, you guys, with the turbo. 500 and something horsepower. It give you it boogies. It definitely boogies, but it doesn't have the sound. And because we're American, and I'm only saying it like that because of Trell, shout out to Trell Bentley. Because we're American, we definitely want our V8 sound, even if it's not as efficient, even if it's down a bit on torque, even if it's down maybe 20-ish horsepower on the Turbo 6. We want our V8s. We want the sound of thunder, right? So there you go. And Samuel Jenkins says, sir, other than putting us on game with these wretched people, why are you giving audience to these people who were given to us by zaddies? I ain't mad at you. Let's not give them any of our energy. No, I cover this because many of us don't. Number one. Number two, I like for folks to hear these folks speak. That's why I kept on Mr. Z stuttering on his own words, stumbling and bumbling. So if you go back on Mr. Z's channel, especially pre-2025, I didn't used to play these folks often. I would speak about them, but I wouldn't. Won't even hear that, right? I cover this so that we can, one, get our 5 chuckles in for those that want. Two, speak to the young men about the upcoming doom and how women are going to be running and prepare them. Because the last thing you want is for our young men to have their head on right and be kicking ass, and they're in the career field and they're earning their 80, 90, 100 plus $1,000, maybe even their 50 plus. They just got started. And then they get caught up on one of these scheming ass, starving ass women. That's number two. Number three, for the brothers that do find themselves in rare air with the Sarahs of the world, that they appreciate who they are to the Sarahs of the world. If I don't play her saying it, if I don't play her and you see her face, that's why I kept on saying, look at her face, then you'll hear me speaking about it, but you won't have that visceral reaction when you see her face. Right? By the way, I'm freestyling all of this. When I say that, I mean like I'm freestyling my response to you, clearly. So, Mr. Jenkins, I cover these things and I speak about these things because Mr. Z is not the youngest black man in America. Huh? Mr. Z is clearly not the most successful black man in America. The other young lady that was speaking about stay in your lane's over there. Black men kind of know, and we speak about it, but it's one thing, once again, to hear Z say that she said it, and to actually hear her say it and see her say it, and see her facial reaction and her facial expressions, and see how she's moving her arms when she's saying stay in your lane over there. And to see her face when she says, and when you get on, when you making money, yeah, you could come over in this lane. Huh? So, Mr. Jenkins, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. There's a reason why we cover these things the way we do on this channel. We are moving into a very tech-heavy age. It's becoming increasingly a tech-heavy age, I should say. And there are brothers who are going to be kicking ass. We're going to have our political Mandalorians. We're going to have our black men who get their head on right. And the last thing you want, I said this already, the last thing you want is for that young man to find a young lady that he finds attractive and she hook him with bedroom fun skills. And the next thing we know, she breaks him in divorce court or with child support. Huh? She set him back. Huh? Ah. So, and hopefully I answer you, Mr. Jenkins. Yeah. So, and Leon says, and thank you for the super chat, Z, stop the cap. Open up one of those US turbos. Trash. Look, I've watched some of the mechanics online speak about some of those 4-cylinder turbos from the US car manufacturers, especially GM products. I think they were talking about like the 1.3 turbos or whatever the hell, and just trash. And like Leon said, yeah, did I say trash? Like I'm talking about the brother Tony Baker. But yeah, um, yeah, no, they've said that. They've said that. They've said that. Right. And yeah, you're right about that. For certain vehicles, I know when Ford was making, or at least when they were shipping or producing the Ford Focus RS and ST, those were kind of kick ass. But once again, Americans don't buy wagons and hatchbacks, so right? You had a nice turbo 4-cylinder. I think with the ST came with 260 some odd horsepower turbo 4-cylinder, and the RS came with 310 all-wheel drive, 310 horsepower turbo and all-wheel drive manual, right? And rally chops. Now it was somewhat of a limited run, but once again, Americans don't buy hatchbacks in wagons, so that's the reason. That's one of the reasons why Volkswagen no longer sells the standard Volkswagen Golf anymore. For all of you that see the new Golfs, they're all GTIs and Rs, Golf Rs. For those of you that want to know the difference, the GTI is turbo front wheel drive. I think they come with like 220 some odd horsepower, maybe 230. And the Golf R is about 305, 310 horsepower. Both of them are dual clutch. And it comes with all-wheel drive. It's all-wheel drive. So yeah. But yeah, the US turbo vehicles, especially the 4-cylinder joints. Well, I don't know, because Ford EcoBoost with the Mustang, I don't hear people complaining about it. The only thing they got is that it's not the 5.0, it's not the V8. But even the EcoBoost, people are modding those. Once again, the only issue people have with them is that they're not the V8, and that's for the people that care, right? And if you notice, Ford stopped selling the V6 and they kept the 4-cylinder, right? So for those of you that don't know, for the current generation of Mustang, there's no more V6. It's the EcoBoost or the 5.0, right? So yeah. So there's that. Thank you, Afro. And Afro Merchant says, we must also fight propaganda with truth and facts, or lies become the truth over time. Oh boy. Right? Look, y'all done kept Z way too long. Okay, we're gonna pause right here. I should have been ended out. Z got things to do. Look, y'all about to Z gonna catch a pan to the face. Mess around with Miss Z. That's not her style, for real. I'll be joking. That's really not her style. Miss Z is definitely Marge Simpson, who just shames the hell out of you and do the Y'all want to know where Z got it from. Z, when you first started streaming, you used to go where do you get the from? Shout out to Miss Z. So yeah, Z got things to do. We got places to go and things to do. Leon said 4 turbos will not last 100K. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna have to do a car stream again. For those of you that remember, I did a car stream a couple years ago. But because I played some stuff from Car Wow and whatnot, not only did I get a strike, they just completely took it off of YouTube. So I can watch it on YouTube Studios, but y'all can't watch it. They took it off. So I'm gonna end up doing another car stream. I know I've been saying that for a while, and definitely I want LAR there. I want definitely Leon there. I know Better You. I want Better You there. Car, brothers. I want any one of you actually that want to talk about cars. We will do. We might try to set that up for next Friday. Let's see. Let's try to set that up for next Friday, right? Or maybe Saturday. Probably next Friday. That'll probably be better. Or sometime this week, maybe. Yeah. So we'll do it. We'll do a car stream. I'll find stuff that I can play without getting a strike. Yeah, we could banter about JDM versus USDM versus American, right? Eurospec, KDM now, right? Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. So on that note, y'all, we went all over the place, but once again, shout out to Sarah. Where's the wedding ring? Anyway, but no, I mean, it's her right, it's her prerogative, it's her life. Shout out to the brother TOTW, top of the world, one of our new subbies. So we'll pause right there. Truly love, piece of chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, for the love of God. Mr. Z kept this up. We'll change that back. All right, y'all. Mr. Z out.
Yes.